La 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 la, life is wonderful. That's true. You found the Happy Life Challenge. Challenge number 4, life is wonderful. Or should I say, la 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 la, life is wonderful. I love that song by Jason Mraz because it reminds me that life is wonderful. It is full of wonder. Like we talked about in challenge number 2, your life is full of something. It can either be full of dread or it can be full of wonder. It can either be dreadful or wonderful. And life is wonderful. It's just easy to forget that when there's so many people out there trying to get people riled up so they can get more follows, more likes, more action on their videos. The news can get more people to watch a news program if they put out a bunch of bad news. But for all the bad news that's out there, there's also good news that's out there as well. The two really go hand in hand. It's unhealthy to ignore either one of those. That's what I like about Jason Mraz. I remember when I first heard him, I was on a trip with my wife and his song Wordplay came out. And we kept scrolling through the radio trying to find that song on the radio. Because he said it's all about the wordplay. It came from his album, I believe, called Mr. A to Z. His last name is Mraz, M-R-A-Z. And so even there, he plays on that and says he's Mr. A to Z, M-R-A-Z. I mean, just like this song right here. Talk about the wordplay. Check out some of his lyrics in this song, Life is Wonderful. It takes a crane to build a crane. That'll make you wonder. It takes 2 floors to make a story. It takes an egg to make a hen. It takes a hen to make an egg. There's no end to what I'm saying. It takes a thought to make a word, and it takes some words to make an action. But I love where he goes next with this. This is where he ties in the dark as well as the light, the scary as well as the hope. He doesn't ignore one or the other. He uses dichotomy like a boss. Dichotomy. It's like an oxymoron. 2 words that don't go together, like pretty ugly or jumbo shrimp. I love how he uses those contrasts. Listen to what he says. It takes some work to make it work. And becoming happy does take work. But the good news is the work isn't difficult, and it's definitely worth the time. If we're going to develop a happy habit, that will change everything for us. That's why we're having a Happy Life Challenge. 7 days of happy, 7 happy hacks to help us develop a happy habit. He goes on and says, it takes some good to make it hurt. It takes some bad for satisfaction. Wow. It takes a night to make it dawn. It takes some old to make you young. It takes some cold to know the sun. And it takes some fears to make you trust. La la la, life is wonderful. He's not taking out anything here. You can't have dark without light. You can't have dawn without the night. You can't have good without the bad. When we go through difficult times, that's what makes us appreciate the good times so much more. Life is wonderful. The problem is that we've lost the art of that. It's a wonderful life.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That was a great movie. I mean, there's a reason why it's a classic and it's been around forever. If you take that song, La La La, life is wonderful. If you take out wonderful, you just have La La La, life is. And a lot of people today are living like that. Life is, it just is meh. I'm in survival. The song isn't life is survival. It's life is wonderful. And if you take that movie, that classic with James Stewart in it, it's a wonderful life. And you take the word wonderful out, it's a life. And a lot of people are living that way because they've lost the wonder. The wonder is what makes life wonderful. The only difference between James Stewart in the beginning of the movie, It's a Wonderful Life, and the end of the movie, It's a Wonderful Life, is he found his wonder again. He lost the wonder in the beginning because he was focusing on what he didn't have, what he hasn't done, what he has not accomplished. Just like we talked about in challenge number 3, being thankful. It's the opposite of being unhappy, because when you're unhappy, you're focusing on what you don't have. That's why a lot of people are unhappy. But when you're thankful, you're focusing on what you do have. And partway through the movie, halfway through the movie, maybe even 2/3 through the movie, James Stewart figures it out. He gets the wonder back, and everything changes. Now, at the very end, there is a solution to his problems, but those solutions come after he gets the wonder, and I want you to catch that. He doesn't get the wonder because the problems go away. He got the wonder back in the midst of the problems. Life can be dark, but that's what means the dawn is coming. We can have a wonderful life even if there's difficult things going on, just like James Stewart did in It's a Wonderful Life. And the same thing is true with happy. A lot of people think that happy is, and I'm repeating this again because this is a mindset that we have got to flip, that we've got to change. A lot of people think, I'll be happy when I get this, when I accomplish this, when this happens, then I can be happy. But we believe that a happy life is a lifestyle where you secure and sustain joy in every circumstance, where you get and keep happy no matter what goes on around you. So if you want a happy life, grab a hold of the art of wonder again and fill your life with wonder. Make your life wonderful. Add the wonder back in life. And here's a few ways to add wonder back in your life. I wonder how we could do that. That right there is the first point. When you say, I wonder, you're pausing at that moment. To get wonder back, you have to pause. You have to take a second and just go, You put your hand to your chin, you rub it a little bit, and you say, I wonder. If you just make the movie and you say, it's a life, wonderful can't fit in there because the sentence is already made. To pause pushes those words apart and gives room for wonderful to come back in there. It's a, wonderful life. When we pause, we make room for the wonder again. You get wonder by pausing. You got to stop, look, and listen. We talked about that in challenge number 2. Look, listen, remember. That's how you get wonder back. When you stop and you look at something else, you stop and you listen for a second. I remember pulling into the driveway once, and my son was just a little kid, and I'm getting ready to get out of the car. My wife and I are both ready to go inside and grab our son and take him out of his car seat and bring him inside. And all of a sudden he stops us dead in our tracks. He says, "Shh, Daddy." "What, son?" I'm in a hurry, right? "What, son?" He goes, "Shh, Daddy. Listen, Daddy." He was trying to get us to listen. And you know what happened? My wife and I both sat back in our seat, and we just sat in that moment. Then I noticed the moon. I noticed the stars. And everything about my demeanor changed because I stopped and I listened for a second because my child said, "Shh, Daddy, listen." And there was nothing there to listen to except for the silent and the moment. So if you want to get wonder back in your life, then you have to pause. And if we're going to pause in our busy life, we have to set aside time to do that. We have to learn how to pause. We're so busy, go, 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 go. Got all these things going on. We need to learn how to pause and fill that moment with just that silence. Shh, listen. So I would recommend scheduling in one day a week where you don't work. One day a week, at least, where you sit back and you chill and you play and you have fun and you learn to pause from your busy, stressful life and you take a break from that. Another thing that we can do is the sigh. When my dad was sick in the hospital, he was passing away, it was very difficult, as you can imagine. And you know what got me through that? I would go outside the hospital doors and I would just sigh. I wasn't doing it on purpose, but I would go outside of my dad's room and I would just breathe. And just doing that right now for you made me feel better. The sigh is nothing more than a pause that gives us an opportunity to bring wonder back into our lives. Just do it right now with me. Ready? Doesn't that feel better? So we got to pause. We got to schedule time to pause, to rest. Think about it. We were made to need a third to a fourth of our life resting, sleeping. And when we don't rest well, we don't live well. We need to rest. So we got to schedule that in. We got to learn to sigh again. The sigh is nothing more than a quick pause, right? And lastly, this goes along with a sigh. It's called box breathing. And it goes like this. You breathe in for 5 seconds. That's the line up. I'm making a box right now. You hold that for 5 seconds. That's the line over. You breathe out for 5 seconds. That's the line down. Then you hold that for 5 seconds. That's the line over. It makes a box. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. Hold it. And if you want to take it to the next level, when you breathe in and you hold it, you speak something positive about life, something positive about you. That's even a whole nother level there. You breathe in. Life is wonderful. I am valuable. And just because that may seem weird doesn't mean it's wrong. Weird just means something new. Every change we've gone through, indoor plumbing at one point was weird. Aren't you glad it's not weird anymore? So just because it's weird doesn't mean it's wrong. It might feel weird doing that, but I'm telling you, if you will practice this box breathing just for a few minutes a day, or when you get stressed out, a good way to pause is to just box breathe for a few minutes. I like to do it when I'm in the car driving, especially if I'm stressed out or if traffic is really bad, because music has beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just do it to the music, just 4 beats. I'll breathe in, 3, 4. Hold it, 1, 2, 3, 4. Release it, let it out, right? I'll do that to the song, and I'll just do it for a song. And I always feel better afterwards. I'm telling you what, it'll lower your blood pressure. It'll calm you down. It'll make you much more peaceful. And it'll also help you clean your mind, cleanse your mind of all the stress, of all the junk going on. It helps you to relax. We need to pause because we need to bring wonder back into our lives. Otherwise, it's just a life. Otherwise, life is Life is wonderful. And it is a wonderful life. And you deserve to be happy. So pause and fill that life with wonder.